Stop! You haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Subscribe now. We have new stories every day. Now, let's go. I'm standing on a threshold I never imagined I'd face. My wife and I, both 32, have been together for 5 years, building what I thought was a stable life in a quiet American suburb. We've got a 2-year-old son, a comfortable home, decent jobs, and until recently, I believed we were expecting our second child in a warm and loving environment. But everything I trusted has been shattered by the discovery of her affair. It started when I stumbled upon her text messages with a coworker, an older man, nearly 20 years her senior, in a separate department at her company. At first, their messages seemed mildly flirtatious, something you could dismiss as harmless banter. But as I scrolled further, my stomach turned. The texts weren't just flirtation. They became explicit and then downright brazen. They'd arranged coffee breaks that weren't really about coffee and business trips that had nothing to do with work. While I was home, juggling childcare, she was in hotel rooms with him, spinning lies about late meetings and client dinners. And all of this while pregnant with what I'm certain is my child, given the timeline I pieced together. I'd always been clear about my single deal breaker. She could make mistakes. Everyone does. But cheating was unforgivable. She knew it. I'd repeated it even as recently as last year. And yet, here we are. She's 20 or so weeks away from giving birth, and I'm trying to decide if I can walk out on a 30-week pregnant wife who's violated the core principle of our marriage. The moral weight of it crushes my chest every time I consider leaving. But how can I stay? Her betrayal wasn't a slip of a moment. It was orchestrated. Trips planned, messages exchanged, intimacy stolen. She told him being pregnant meant no need for protection. They joked about how she should groom herself for him, discussed positions they'd try once her belly grew larger. She confided in him about feelings beyond mere lust. I read all of it, every word, every suggestion. And now those words echo whenever I look at her. I used to believe in her honesty above all else. She demanded absolute truth from me, and I thought she mirrored that principle. But now that image is irreparably tarnished. We started therapy 2 days after I confronted her. I insisted on it, desperate for some anchor in a storm of confusion. Sessions have run the gamut from gut-wrenching fights to calm, tearful reflections. But even on the best of days, I can't look at her without recalling what I've read. When her phone vibrates with a message, my heart tightens. When a TV show mentions infidelity, I see them together. I don't picture a future. I picture them entangled in a hotel room bed while I stayed home caring for our son and texting her how her meetings were going. She claims it's over, swears she's sorry. I believe her remorse is real, that she won't repeat this. Yet what good is remorse when the damage is done? I'm caught between two impossible choices. On one hand, I can't fathom staying with someone whose betrayal haunts me at every turn. On the other, how can I be the man who abandons a pregnant wife and a young child? My son's innocent eyes tug at my conscience. He deserves stability, not the aftermath of a shattered marriage. The advice from others pulls me in different directions. Some say I can walk away, that it's better to co-parent happily than force a marriage steeped in resentment. They say my duty is to raise my children in a nurturing environment, whether or not I share a home with their mother. Others point out that maybe I've contributed to this situation. Admittedly, I haven't been perfect. I work a lot, have kept small secrets about money, and let her shoulder more responsibilities at times. She supported me through my struggles, including an old battle with alcohol and the early hardships of starting my own business. I owe a large part of my success and growth to her unwavering support. Remembering this complicates my anger, like a beautiful photograph now torn right down the middle. But no matter my failings, hers has overshadowed everything. The scale of her betrayal feels too large to reconcile. Every sweet memory now comes with a bitter aftertaste. Even if I stay, how do I rebuild trust from these ashes? I'm leaning towards waiting until the baby is born. I'm not a monster. I don't want to add more chaos to her already stressful pregnancy or stress a soon-to-be newborn's life with sudden upheaval. But my mind is made up that I can't spend the rest of my life looking at her and seeing only the man she cheated with. She's depressed, caught between her job's demands and a pregnancy now marred by scandal. Her family is far away, in Poland. She's essentially isolated, sorry, and begging for a chance. But I know what I saw, I know what I read, and I can't unsee it. So this weekend, I'll probably tell her I want a divorce. We've hinted at the possibility in therapy. She says if I choose that route, she'll want me out of the house immediately. She also stated she doesn't want me around during the birth if we're divorcing. That thought alone twists a knife in my heart. I want to be there for my child's first moments. But can I sacrifice my dignity and peace of mind to maintain appearances for the sake of a birth scene I might only resent later? It's a horrible situation all around. There's no neat solution, no happy ending tied up with a bow. I'm aware that my decision to leave might mean I'm missing out on the birth of my second child. It might mean creating a complicated co-parenting scenario. But I keep reminding myself, my children deserve a father who isn't broken inside. I deserve a life not defined by bitterness. At least, that's what I keep telling myself. And as I stand on the edge of this promise, 1 foot over the threshold, I know this weekend will change everything forever.